It's April 16th, doing some driving here, so I can't really look directly at you. I'm sporting a new look, as my friend Jim Griffin would say. Well, due to traffic on the highway, we've been routed off the highway through the farmland. This is very much where a lot of California fruits and vegetables are grown in this valley.
Tis leprechauns.
Tis leprechauns.
They come in every night and move stuff around. You know?
I see, this is all straight, right? We saw how unstraight it was.
Unstraight is a good word, yeah. This is so. Here's the galley. Pretty much the same layout as the old one, but
yeah,
improved somewhat.
April 16th, doing some driving here, so I can't really look directly at you. I'm sporting a new look, as my friend Jim Griffin would say. And today we are going to stop by Mayan Hardwood to pick up some more Formica. So, wow, this is very impressive. I'm actually flying on the carpool lane. Because I'm in an electric car, I can do that by myself. Well, due to traffic on the highway, we've been routed off the highway through the farmland. So it's kind of fun to see this area to people from around the country and the world who watch our episodes. This is very much where a lot of California fruits and vegetables are grown in this valley.
You got a laminate, right?
I've got 2 pieces of Formica.
Served toast form. And we opened it yesterday to make sure there were 2. Very nice.
There it is. Thank you. All right, we're gonna have to get this 10-foot box in the back of the Tesla. So, luckily it has a fold-down seat. I'm sure everybody's totally fascinated by that. And here we go. Now we're ready to go. And follow signs for the 101 north towards San Francisco. Sneak up on them.
Do I hear footprints? Ah, tis leprechauns.
Tis leprechauns.
They come in every night and move stuff around. You know?
Thursday, April 16th, 2015. Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Ahoy, ahoy! Oh, I'm sure everybody is intrigued to know what you're working on.
Hey, you got an audition or something?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, well, you got one too. Meeting with the banker?
Well, with the Tarzan pictures in the can. So I'm auditioning Friday for H.R. Holloman.
Okay, for H.R. Holloman, exactly.
Fiction Papers Part 3. What we're doing is getting all the upper stuff done.
Right.
So that later we're not crawling over it.
So this is done, installed?
Oh yeah.
Done, not coming out?
Oh no.
Nice. Nice.
Pretty much everything you see is not coming out.
Now the back of the chair comes up to here?
Uh-huh.
Is that it? It comes right to there?
Yeah, on the other side, same thing.
Right, okay. So we're not trying to... The tops look great. And then there's, you say, there's a little fillet piece here also that
this stuff
covers.
Here.
Right. Oh yeah, just like that.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of those, but we're going to wait until everything's in.
Yeah.
Because some of them are obsolete.
Sure.
Because of stuff we did.
That's why they filled those hinges in. Remember all the hinges were inset and mortised in?
Yeah, what
They
happened?
put some kind of filler block in there to try to get this to close. When we got this all square and fastened again, it's just not catching.
So it has to go this way?
It's got to go like this.
This is where the box was, the old flag.
Yeah.
Right. And so you're gaining quite a bit of storage there. And then back here,
Ah, look at this. We got this whole.
this is where the batteries go.
Ah, this used to be like a locker. More of a locker, right? So the batteries are going to go in there.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
And then we added this shelf and
Yep.
that shelf to give you some more storage.
Those two shelves, yeah. Do we have a door for that? Yeah, there's the old door, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was, this cabinet's just temporarily in because Dave still has to get in there and do the batteries and the wiring.
Gotcha.
So we won't put it in.
Oh, yeah.
So what we're going to do is put a small cleat back here. So you have to push it in, and there'll be a sliding bolt that locks it into the fiddle.
Okay.
That way, it's solid, it won't rattle when you're motoring, and it looks better.
Okay.
Feel that
Nice.
bulkhead now. Doesn't move anymore.
I see this is all
Oh.
straight, right? We saw how unstraight it was.
Unstraight is a good word, yeah. This is still a little tight. Do some more adjusting. Well, yeah, this bulkhead had a bunch of little cleats that stopped and went.
Yeah, it was also all, it wasn't straight.
It was out like over ½ inch.
Right.
And this cabinet fascia here had come unglued, and it was like this. So we just poured glue down the joints and then glued everything to this big cleat.
Okay.
So now it's all straight. This door will close better, and of course it's much stronger, and it's not rattling around in there. This is the old lid, still fits, but it too has that syndrome.
So the warpness.
Potato chip. It's a,
Once you put that little barrel bolt, it straightens it out.
Yeah.
It'll look nice. They were just flopping around.
when it goes in, you see how it is? So we'll put that cleat that runs all the way along there.
Now why is it like that? Because it's bent or because the bottom is not
No,
straight?
it's bent.
It's the
It's
plywood.
bent.
Well, they're plywood in there.
With some kind of top.
Yeah, and so plywood, by itself doesn't have much stability. But with the cleat in there,
Yeah. See,
Just sight down this one.
oh yeah. It's hard to exactly see.
Yeah, it's hard to see with the camera, but
Yeah.
with the cleat in there, and we have to push it in under the cleat,
Okay.
then there'll be a bolt here that holds it down like that.
Will it rebend it back?
Oh yeah.
I mean, is it worth just redoing those? I mean,
No.
Yeah.
We're minutes away from being done with those.
Okay.
They are what they are.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, they should probably be Formica just to brighten the area up.
Right.
But you-
No. Renee wants wood.
Good.
We want wood.
Okay, good.
Wood. More wood, the better.
All right.
More.
Galley time. Here's the galley. Pretty much the same layout as the old one, but
Yeah.
improved somewhat. This is for the little cups
Yeah.
and glasses.
Yeah. Get this
That has to go that way.
So yeah, pretty much the same, just with some shelves. It doesn't have to have shelves,
Some improvements.
right?
Some, simplicity.
Right.
And this is plenty big. You can get here and clean this. So that's nice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Now it looks like dirt will get pushed back in there.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, all of this stuff, all these shelves and everything,
Yeah.
you always want to leave them a little shy of the ceiling planks of the hull. Should anything get in there, like water,
Okay.
it'll just run right out,
Sure.
And then these are the new engine.
Yeah. The stove.
Stove logs. We had to widen them a little bit, so we kind of gave them some shape here to make them not look so clunky.
No, it looks great in here. Looks great. All right, so this is pretty much done, ready to go. Now, do we get shelves in the big cabinets? No, we can put a little shelf rack or something in there.
I dropped
Makes it easier to and they've got little things to hold that. Okay,
those come out.
right.
It's kind of like, what do you put in there?
Nothing that you couldn't put into the lower one there if you're a little bit
Right.
little
So
ones.
that's 10-inch plates, that's saucers, and this
It
is
gives you, again, we could always put one of those little half shelf that sits there and you can stack shit up, but that just falls apart anyway, right? I mean, it just falls when you're sailing, all that stuff just falls.
exactly.
So we'll figure it out.
I'm imagining
it's good. It's better. Yeah.
Pancake mix.
Yeah, boxes of stuff. Exactly. Yeah. So that'll.
So you don't want to crowd it. See, because we added some shelves in the main area.
Okay.
And so there's a lot more stuff you can do with them, but you still want a couple places where you can put taller stuff.
Yes, absolutely. So that's great.
And you know, so it's all clean and easy to maintain.
Yeah.
If you had to, this shelf and this one come out.
Okay.
I don't know why you'd ever take them out, but
right, but you can unscrew.
But it's nice and strong.
Nice. Don't crack it now.
No, this thing is really in there. I mean, this cabinet is stupid strong. So, we have this panel to make.
What was this? All made out of the sapele?
Yep, this is all planking scraps.
Planking scraps.
Boy, we went through some scraps.
Good.
I'll tell you.
What's that thing weigh?
It's not bad. It's just hard to grab. It's probably, I don't know, 20 pounds or so. Okay, now let me swish my hands here. Good. There you go. And then there's a little plate that goes on this block down here.
Okay.
For locking the stove to keep it from swinging.
When you're sailing, sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, there was a shelf back here that had a little fiddle on it. It was Formica both sides.
Yeah.
And it hinged up.
Yeah.
Now you'll want that again.
Sure, because it's a little bit of counter that you can use to
Right.
stack stuff on while you're cooking.
Yeah, see the swinging,
Yeah, when you're swinging, yeah.
it limits the amount of shelf, but it'd be, 6 inches wide.
Sure.
Better than 0.
Yeah.
And it rests on these logs.
Please, yeah. Okay.
So this is nice. So there you go.
Beautiful. Galley's done, basically. We'll just put that fridge in after they're ready.
Fridge takes literally 5 minutes to install.
Right. Okay, and then up here we have a...
There's a panel with Formica.
Okay.
Keeps the splashings from the stove off. We're waiting for the Formica.
Okay, it's here.
to make that. It's just a little 1/4-inch piece of ply with Formica on it.
Okay.
And it slips into a little rabbited piece that screws in here, which we're waiting, as soon as we get the Formica, it's a metric size, so we'll have to increase the size of that rabbit.
Okay.
That it pops in.
Right. So we put that Formica above these frames or
No,
below?
sits
Just
underneath.
so we
Sits here.
okay. Very good. Okay.
And it's the only part of the galley that's really sealed off, but it's not really, because see how it's open here?
Okay. Yeah.
We've got air going through everywhere now, as opposed to in the past it was all just, blanked out. And of course with the ceiling planks in lieu of, are you still filming?
Yeah.
Oh, with the ceiling planks in lieu of the masonite in the back,
Okay. Yeah.
now the hull can breathe. Now,
Sure.
And that's true
Same
everywhere.
here. Yeah. Very nice. That one's done. This one's done.
done.
Great. Done. Done.
Putting it in now. So what we've done is we've gone from here and then we're moving around this way.
Okay.
So once we get these lids done and all this stuff and the battery and so forth, I
You
want to
come
put,
over here.
yeah, I want to put Formica on the battery shelf.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Why not?
Then why not? We got to put a little cleat back in here,
Okay.
so we make a shelf for that locker, which we have the doors for.
Great.
And then I think we talked about this, but we're gonna cut this bulkhead back to about 2 inches wide here.
Cut that piece there.
Uh-huh. Because remember, this locker's obsolete. Isn't that nice? So this bulkhead right here,
Yeah.
we're gonna move it over about 4 inches.
Okay.
That way the fridge comes down and forward a little bit. We'll see how much room we have left, and we might put a little something back there for storage. And this is where that,
This is gonna be our whole nav center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cabinet's gone. We just
Yeah.
put it up there for reference.
The
we'll put
cabinet.
in, and we'll probably run ceiling planks full length from there to there for
Okay.
looks.
Okay.
Gotta do something, and then at that point we can make a decision.
So no cabinet there. No cabinet there at all.
Well, I'm thinking we might be able to put a little not very deep cabinet back there.
Yeah.
Like say 6-8 inches deep,
Right.
which is better than 0.
Yeah, yeah. The galley has finally come together.
Right.
And it looks really, really great. What?
Well, you remember when we were looking at the old cabinet, going, can we salvage this? Can we salvage that? Everything was delaminating, and all those little dadoed pieces that were put in there. It was quite a puzzle. And
Yeah.
it was just.
You still have that old fascia?
Oh yeah.
Okay, we gotta throw some of that stuff away now.
Yep. Like, you know. Yeah, here's a good example. I think we went over this, but
Yeah.
you know, the dividers were all, and then.
This is the pile that was the old galley.
Yep, we had broken, rotted, mildewed, delaminated. And so to get this, we just, you know what, let's just make a new one.
No, it looks nice. And it looks nice not in white.
Yeah, and so that was that. And the same with these shelves. We're not even gonna bother trying to clean them up because some of them have delamination and other stuff. We're just gonna, they're patterns at this point. And when we get our new plywood in, we'll just make all new ones. So these pieces of the galley, we can throw them out now. Same with the old doors for the cockpit are obsolete. We widened them 1.5 inches for a little better access for people with very muscular frames.
Are those on or those are just?
No, they're off to be out of the way because Dave's going in and out of those
Okay.
cockpit lockers.
These are already fit.
Yep.
The doors are fit, but the whole pieces aren't.
And on these hinges, most all of them are pretty much frozen up. So we had to soak them in WD-40 to get them to swing good. Some are better than others. This one was pretty good. And these little bronze pieces and so forth. One of the problems we have is that being a European boat, they had European screws. So almost every one of these little screw countersinks, we had to slightly enlarge them to fit an American size number 6 screw.
Okay. So put a new screw in.
Yeah, there's dozens of, and there was a couple of these hinges. I took one hinge out of the galley, and there's 6 holes. It had 6 different screws in it.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody was cursing back in the day when they had to
No, they
fix it.
just weren't working very hard at the details like that.
Well, they did a lot of hard work. They made a lot of it harder. But anyway, over here is all this hardware that we've managed to keep organized as much as we can so that we don't lose anything. One of the problems with doing interior work is you have 1,000 different sizes of little screws, from that big down to little tiny. And so we've kept them all, like these are number 4s. Then we have 6s to hold the hinges. And this is a good one. This one's pretty stiff. So this one needs some work.
Now Renee might want to have a lot of this stuff re-chromed.
Well, so far it's cleaning up pretty nicely, as you saw in those. And you really don't see any of this until you open the door and look around at this part, you know. The only thing you really see is this button.
Which is fine.
Yeah, and at any time you can just take a piece of hardware off and have it re-chromed. Also these bronze sliding bolts, we have an extra one of those left, I think. And there was 2 different types of hinges. And Clint's working on one right now that had to be shimmed out. So it's all that, and then all these little pieces of molding that go up against the deck. You can see the finish on them. So rather than try to do anything like that, we're just gonna strip them. We gotta take the white paint off, the overpaint. There's places where it's peeling. So in an hour you can have all these stripped and just start over again.
Stripped and varnish them again?
Not, well, yet an hour to have them stripped. And then just re-varnish them all.
Revarnish.
Yeah, because it's like that. You can't put them back in like that, because with all the new stuff, that'll really show up badly. And there's just all these oddball little pieces that go in. We've managed to label them all a while back, actually. This is the piece that goes in the galley, that 45-degree angle piece.
Right, yeah.
New Formica piece, sealed and painted, ready to go. So all of this is the only thing left of the hardware, which at one time covered this entire table. Only half a dozen.
This is all that's left.
Yep. So that's where we're going with that. Starting over here, what we're doing is we're working our way from this way
Yeah.
around the boat to here. Now we went ahead and put all this together because the cabinet was done, and we made a new shelf. Used the old rail, and just cleaned this up and painted it nice, and made a new shelf. And
For mica in there?
no, these are all just painted. They're not in the galley. But enabled it, of course, reuse the old doors and hardware. New ceiling planks.
Yeah, and I see a matte finish on these cabinets now.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, and matte is good because you see how if you look over here with the ceiling planks and the matte finish, doesn't the boat feel a lot warmer?
It feels good. Looks nice.
Yeah.
Once I have the furniture in, it'll look better.
Oh yeah. We'll get to that in a minute. So this same thing, we're able to use this cabinet again and the doors, and hardware, ceiling planks, new shelf with the same, we used the same rail. We had to make a new shelf here because there wasn't one. This is where the flags went.
That's right.
So, but this shelf, it's semi-removable. In other words, you'll be able to slide out, but it'll have a couple of screws holding it in because the cabinets are in a slight angle like this. As it comes out, the opening gets smaller.
Okay.
So that's how we had to do that. New ceiling planks.
And do you have to worry about that shelf being a little overspan? Does it need some center support or anything like that?
Oh no, because when we glued this on, see that?
Oh, it's that four-piece.
Yeah, well, all the shelves that we made, the way we did the, see how it's rabbited around it there?
Okay.
So that acts as quite a stiffener.
Absolutely.
And it's dead straight. So, whenever you do something on a boat, you want it to, whenever you can without going crazy, to have a dual purpose. In other words, it's not just a rail, it stiffens that shelf. Because you don't want to make a 3/4 inch thick shelf there. You're trying to keep the weight down. This is the same thing. All the shelves are removable. Eventually removable. Eventually to be painted white.
You want to paint the tops of those white?
And the bottoms.
And the bottoms, yeah.
Just to brighten it up.
Okay.
And Clint's working on the hinges right now that had to be, we had to adjust the hinges on this door.
Okay. Same here.
Here's the top of the battery shelf, which will Formica today.
Right. Beautiful.
Okay, we added this cleat to support the lids. And this is a shelf we added. It comes out. We added this.
Right, that used to just be a kind of a bottomless locker. Right, it was just you shoved your coat down in there. See, there were hooks. They're still up there.
Yeah, you can hang your hats on those.
Now you can hang your hat.
But all these shelves come out. This one has a little rail on the outboard edge.
Okay,
Yeah, to
nice.
keep stuff from falling out. And this is shaped like this because of the hardware and because of when you go to take it out, the clearance to get it out. So we shaped it like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And then on the bulkhead here for the engine room.
Right, 'cause that was another thing. Another section here, the bulkhead was way out of line. What was going on there?
Well, it was over 1/2 inch out of straight, but it was, you could move it 2 inches.
It was just really soft.
Yeah, it wasn't attached to anything. It was a little plywood gusset where now our new post is.
Gotcha.
And then
This is the new post that we saw from under
yeah,
right here.
yep. And so we doubled the size of this cleat, mainly because it has a 6-foot span, and it was chopped up into little pieces of different shapes and sizes. And this fascia here was really warped. So we re-glued all this back together. We just poured glue down these joints. And then when we put this cleat in, we clamped it all together and it straightened that fascia right out.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's much tighter. And
Oh,
now
yeah.
you say you're going to rework this area here
Right.
to fill it, to not fill in that gap, move that bulkhead to be in line.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut this back about to here, somewhere, roughly 4 inches.
Okay.
And then this bulkhead will move over this way and go all the way up. It'll be a big L-shaped bulkhead.
Gotcha. That will form the inside of that cabinet.
Yep. And then That way this is the mock-up of the fridge.
Okay.
This is the approximate. It's a little bit bigger than the actual fridge, but we made it that way on purpose. It'll come over 3 or 4 inches,
And
which
down.
it'll allow it to drop down because it's hitting that big frame.
Sure.
So the dropping down part isn't so as important as bringing it over and forward about 6 inches.
Okay.
So that the lid can open. And
Gotcha.
then that fascia I showed you down on the shop floor,
Yeah.
that used to go here.
Yeah.
So what we'll probably do there, once this is all cut, we're happy with it, is we can add to that fascia on this side and give you a little cabinet that's about probably 8 inches deep back there,
Okay.
which is better than
Great.
zero.
The rest of this cabinet is coming out, correct?
Yeah, that's done. That's the one we salvaged the 2 doors from for those.
Right, because now this space here is going to be the whole like telecommunications,
Right.
nav station. We're
Right.
just going to open it all up to a counter, right? The counter is going to be one piece.
Well, and the only thing that's going to change here is this old Formica,
Yeah.
the imitation walnut stain stuff, will be just that off-white, same as all the rest of the shelves.
Okay. Not Formica, just painted wood.
No, it'll be Formica.
Okay.
Only because the surface underneath is so bad.
Okay.
You know, by the time you prep that, you'd be.
Not redoing that
No.
subshelf there.
We're just going to epoxy the Formica right to it, and then of course the fiddle goes along there. We have to redo this face because it had a drawer in here or something.
Yeah, huge long door.
Yeah. So this will be. We'll just reface this.
No drawer there.
No. There won't be room because the fridge is coming in a little bit.
Gotcha.
And we'll try to make this in such a way that if you really wanted to, you could put a real chart on there.
Well, if there's room, if we could put even a little drawer back in there, use the old face, and instead of having this 6-foot long catch-all of everything, if it was even a 6-inch drawer, it would be nice to be able to throw some pens or,
Where is that drawer? Did we save it?
drawers, yeah.
I think
It was useful to have a drawer.
Well, we'll see if I think we saved it. I don't remember.
I'm sure you did. You saved everything else.
Famous last words. This is the moment of truth.
Sure it's the right side, Doug?
It is now.
Right side.
Okay, now we take a couple of baby clamps.
Is that the technique you just drop it on?
Yeah, I mean,
Look, he missed the edge there. Ooh, so close.
okay.
More of a plot.
Did we say we had a couple blocks?
Very nice.
Or, oh, here, Clint. There's 3 right there.
Oh, these. I have these here. They've
Fine.
2 of these.
That's cool.
30 side up. Actually,
Just need that little feller. These are just to spread the load. Now, you use these little clamps, aiming at the 4x4. And this is just to keep it, when you start putting pressure on those big clamps, it starts to skate.
Okay.
So these little guys are just, you can leave them on.
Hold it in position.
You can leave them on, but I mean, they're just to keep it,
There, I see it skating right there, yeah.
yep. Okay. Now we take, you know what? We're gonna need the 3rd one of these, I'm sorry. Clampzilla. It's not that you need this much power, it's just it needs the reach. See how it's starting to squeeze out? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And skate.
That way you know you can skate, yeah. That way you know you got it.